Hello students, welcome back to another lecture on Fourier series. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the Fourier series expansion of odd and even functions. So let us first recall the definition of an even function. We know that a function f is said to be even if f of x is equal to f of minus x. That is, if we replace x by minus x, then the function remains as it is. For example, let us take f to be x square. Clearly, if we replace x by minus x, then we are going to get x square only. Also, here I have plotted the graph of x square, which is clearly a parabola facing upward. And you can visualize here that this graph is symmetric about y-axis, because we know that the graph of an even function is always symmetric about y-axis. Let us try to understand this with the help of another example. Here I have taken f to be the cosine function, and this is the graph of cosine function, which is very well known to all of us. And here also you can see that this graph is also symmetric about y-axis. Next, let us discuss the odd functions. We know that a function f is said to be odd if f of x is equal to minus f of minus x. That is, if we replace x by minus x, then we are going to get the same function but with a negative sign. For example, let us take f to be x cube. Clearly, if I am substituting x as minus x, then I will be getting minus x cube. And this is the graph of this function, and clearly I can see that this graph is symmetric about origin. Please note that the graph of an even function is always symmetric about y-axis, but the graph of an odd function is always symmetric about origin. Next, we have the graph of sine function, which I have plotted here. Here also you can see that this graph is not symmetric about y-axis, but it is symmetric about the origin, because sine is an odd function and odd functions are always symmetric about origin. So now we are going to use the even and odd function to evaluate the integral minus L to L f of x dx. And we already know that this integral value is 0 whenever f is odd, and if f is even, then we can write this integration as 2 integral of f of x taken within the limits 0 to L. Next, we are going to discuss how the Fourier series expansion of an even or an odd function can be obtained. We know that the Fourier series expansion of a function in the interval minus L to L is given by this series. This is the general interval we are taking. Please note that if we substitute L as pi, then this formula will be reduced to the Fourier series expansion of a function in minus pi to pi. So this is a general formula which we have used here. And the coefficients a0, an and bn are given by these terms. All of these expressions we have already discussed in previous lecture. So first case we are taking when f is an even function. So if f is an even function, we are going to compute all these coefficients a0, an and bn in general case. So if f is even, this integral minus L to L f of x dx can be written as 2 divided by L integration 0 to L f of x dx. By the property of definite integrals, which we have just explained, so we are going to use this property. So a0 takes this form. Similarly, an is equal to 1 by L integration minus L to L f of x cos n pi x by L dx. Note that f is an even function, cos is also an even function, and multiplication of two functions which are even is also an even function. So the integrand becomes an even function. Again, we can apply the property of definite integral for an even function. So this integration can be written as 2 by L integration 0 to L f of x cos n pi x by L dx. Now let us discuss about Bn. Bn is 1 by L integration minus L to L f of x sin n pi x by L dx, where f is an even function and sin is an odd function. So the multiplication becomes odd. And we know that integration minus L to L of any odd function will be 0. So directly Bn becomes 0. So every time you are not required to obtain a0, an and bn. First you see if you have an even function, then clearly bn will be 0. You are not required to compute this quantity. So the Fourier series will be having terms up to an only. Means the Fourier series of an even function in the interval minus L to L will be written as a0 by 2 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an cos n pi x by L, because bn is 0. So this term will not be present in the Fourier series expansion of an even function. Similarly, we are going to discuss the Fourier series expansion when f is an odd function. So by the similar arguments, we can say that whenever f is an odd function, the coefficients a0 and an both are 0. And we are only left with the coefficient bn, which is given by 2 by L integration 0 to L f of x sin n pi x by L dx. Let us now see how can we use these arguments to compute the Fourier series expansion. So here in this example, we are required to obtain the Fourier series of x square in the interval say minus L to L. Clearly, x square is an even function. So we know that for an even function, the coefficient bn in the Fourier series is going to be 0. So here we are not going to compute the coefficient bn, we are directly keeping this as 0. And we are going to compute only the coefficient a0 and an. So a0 is 2 by L integration 0 to L f of x dx. So after integrating this, I got the value 2 by 3 L square. Similarly, I have obtained the value of an, which is 4L square divided by n square pi square multiplied with minus 1 to the power n. And thus the Fourier series expansion for the function x square will be a0 by 2 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an cos n pi x by L. So here we have substituted the coefficients a0 and an, and we have got this expansion as the Fourier series expansion of x square. So this is how we are going to use the concept of odd and even functions directly while computing the Fourier series expansion of those functions. Here I have given one problem of an odd function as well. Now we are going to discuss the concept of half range Fourier series. Till now we have obtained a Fourier series expansion of any function in the interval minus L to L. That is actually full range Fourier series. Now if we find the Fourier series in the interval 0 to L or in the interval minus L to 0, means half of the period is given now, then the Fourier series will be known as half range Fourier series. In a half range Fourier series, we always have a choice to extend the given function in terms of sine or in terms of cosine. Means the Fourier series will be having either terms of sine or terms of cosine only. In another manner, you can say that we are expanding the function as a half range Fourier series either as an even function or as an odd function. Let us see how. So we are going to discuss this question. It says that express f as a half range sine series in the interval 0 to 2. Note that we are not having any formula for half range series, but we have the formula for full range series, correct? So we are going to convert this problem into a full range Fourier series problem. Let us see how. So since we have to convert it into a sine series and sine is an odd function, we are going to use the property of odd function. Let me explain it again. So this is the given function f of x is equal to x in the interval 0 to 2, and since we want Fourier half range sine series and sine is an odd function, so we are using the property of odd function which says that the graph of an odd function is always symmetric about origin. So I have extended this function by the symmetry about the origin, and I have constructed a new function as x in the interval minus 2 to 2. So f of x is now an odd function in the interval minus 2 to 2, which is now become a question of full range series, Fourier series. Clear? And now we will be obtaining the Fourier series expansion for this function. Since x is an odd function, a0 and an will be directly 0. Just now we have studied. So the Fourier series will be n from 1 to infinity bn sin n pi x by l. Here L is 2. So I have substituted 2 here, and Bn is 2 by L, L is 2, 0 to 2 f of x sin n pi x by L dx. So on integrating this, I get the value of Bn as minus 4 multiplied with minus 1 to the power n divided by n pi. On substituting the term of Bn in f of x, I get the half range sine series for the function x. Note that the same function can also be expanded as a half range cosine series, which is explained in this example. It says that express f of x is equal to x as a half range cosine series in the interval 0 to 2. In the previous example, we have expressed the same function as a half range sine series, but now we are going to express it as a half range cosine series. Now cosine is an even function, so definitely we are going to use the property of an even function which says that even functions are always symmetric about y-axis. So first I am plotting the graph of x in the interval 0 to 2, which is given by bold line here. Since I want the expansion in terms of cosine series and cosine is an even function, so I am using the property of an even function and I am drawing the symmetric part over here, that is symmetric about y-axis. So my new function becomes f of x is equal to mod of x. Note that mod of x is the graph of this function now in the interval minus 2 to 2. Clearly f is now an even function in the interval minus 2 to 2. And now I am going to obtain the Fourier series of this function in this interval. We know that for an even function, the Fourier series is not having the term Bn. So the Fourier series is given by a0 by 2 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an cos n pi x by L. L is 2 here. Simply I have obtained the coefficients a0 and an. a0 is 2 and an I have obtained as 4 multiplied with minus 1 to the power n divided by n square pi square. On substituting these coefficients into the Fourier series, I got the Fourier series of f as this expression, which is the half range cosine series. Let us try to understand the concept again with the help of another example. Here it says that expand the given function as a Fourier half-range sine series. Okay, so this is the given function to us and we have to expand it into sine series, and sine is an odd function. So as we have seen in the previous example, whenever you are having odd function, you just increase the interval or extend the interval. So now we are writing f of x is an odd function in the interval -1 to 1. As previously you can see in the last example, the question was expand this in this interval 0 to 2. Since we wanted a half range sine series, we have extended the interval from -2 to 2. So we are going to use the same concept here. For an Fourier half range sine series, we are required to take the full range, or we are required to take the extended interval. And for an even function, we have to take the modulus of the function. So f of x, that is the new function, represents an even odd function in the interval -1 to 1. Fine. And for an odd function, we know that the coefficients a0 and an are 0. So we are only left with the terms of bn. That is, the Fourier series now becomes summation n from 1 to infinity bn sin n pi x by L. Now here L is 1, which you can see here. So bn is 2 by L integration 0 to L f of x sin n pi x by L dx. On integrating this, note that while integrating, this integration will be done in two parts. First from 0 to 1 by 2 and then 1 by 2 to 1. Since we have a break point at 1 by 2, so we are integrating this and we got the value of bn as 1 by 2 n pi multiplied with 1 minus -1 to the power n minus 4 divided by n square pi square multiplied with sin n pi by 2. And you can see that whenever n is even, this term is 0, and if n is even, this term is also 0. So clearly bn is 0 whenever n is even, and whenever n is odd, we get this as 1 plus 1, that is 2, 2 gets cancelled, 1 by n pi minus 4 sin n pi by 2 is equal to -1 to the power n plus 1 whenever n is odd. So we have substituted this property here, divided by n square into pi square. So this is the value of bn. These are some exercise problems. You can find it in your Google Classroom as well. Let us see one very interesting property in Fourier series, which is known as Parseval's formula. It states that if f is having a Fourier series expansion in the interval -L to L, then the integration of modulus of fx square within the limits -L to L is given by this quantity, which is L multiplied with a0 square by 2 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an square plus bn square. These are the same coefficients a0, an and bn in the Fourier series expansion. Now let us see what is the use of Parseval's formula with the help of one example. It says that find the Fourier series expansion of x square in -pi to pi and then prove this equality. Earlier also we have proved some equality by substituting x as some point within the interval. Let us see how can we obtain this equality now. So first we have to compute the Fourier series. We have already computed this in the second lecture, and it is given by this expression f of x, which is x square. Its Fourier series expansion is pi square by 3 plus 4 summation n from 1 to infinity minus 1 to the power n multiplied with cos nx by n square, where x is varying from minus pi to pi. A0, an and bn I have written distinctly, which you can see here. Note that whatever point you substitute from this interval, say if I substitute x equals to 0, cos 0 is 1. Here we will be having 0. Means we will be left with minus 1 to the power n divided by n square. But I want the summation of 1 by n to the power 4. What I want to say is, even if I take any of the value within this interval, I am not going to obtain the value of this summation, because in this expression I have 1 by n square, but I want the summation of 1 by n4. Clear? So to handle these type of equality, we always apply Parseval's identity. Note that Parseval identity is given by this expression. So we are just substituting all these terms in the Parseval's formula. F is known to us, A0, An, Bn. All these terms are known to us. So let us substitute one by one. Minus L to L. L is pi. F of x is x square. So mod fx square becomes x to the power 4 is equal to L. L is pi. You can see here. Then A0 square by 2. A0 is 2 pi square by 3. So A0 square by 2 becomes 4 pi to the power 4 divided by 18 plus summation n from 1 to infinity an square plus bn square. Bn is 0, so we are left with an square. And an is this term. So after squaring it, we get 16 by n to the power 4. Clear? So we can integrate this term, which will be getting x to the power 5 by 5, and on integrating this we will be getting 2 by 5 multiplied with pi to the power 5. Here this term represents this part, the first part, which I have taken to the another side, minus 2 pi to the power 5 divided by 9, this term. And in the right hand side we are left with 16 pi, 16 I have taken common, summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by n to the power 4. Note that this is the quantity which we are required to obtain. So I am writing it here is equal to 8 by 45 into pi to the power 5. On simplifying this, you can get this quantity. And on taking 16 pi to the denominator, I got the value of summation n from 1 to infinity 1 by n to the power 4 is equal to pi to the power 4 divided by 90. You can see this is the same expression which we wanted to obtain.